Zoom Zoom. You feel it. And with extra value now at Mazda, it's time to own it. Go for Mazda CX-3 Neo from $22,490 drive away, plus a $500 Go bonus. It's time to go.
News for Carey covers for tarps of all shapes and sizes, made to fit for trucks, grouper bins, trailers, boats and bunkers. Part of the Ace Radio Network, 94.5, 98.5 and 101.3 Mix
7
FM.
degrees in Melbourne, sunny, a top today 18, 9 o'clock. Good morning. I'm David Armstrong. The father of one of Paul Denye's victims wants legislation passed to stop the Frankston serial killer being allowed to apply for parole. Denye was yesterday denied release after serving his 30-year minimum for the murders of Elizabeth Stevens, Debbie Freem and Natalie Russell in the 90s. Natalie's father, Brian Russell, has told Neil Mitchell it was a huge relief.
It's taken a big load off our shoulders. There's been a group of us, as you know, working pretty hard for the last couple of years, really, to try and get this result. So let's just hope we can continue going on with it.
Details have emerged why the family of Barry Humphries turned their back on Melbourne to have his state funeral in Sydney. Entertainment reporter Peter Ford says the family is upset with Daniel Andrews and the Melbourne Comedy Festival, which cancelled him.
They are of the belief that the Melbourne Comedy Festival is underwritten by the Major Events Committee in Victoria, which is government funded, and therefore it would have been quite possible for Daniel Andrews, who was the Premier at the time, to pick up the phone and to say, this is wrong, what you're doing. Now that may be against protocol, may be against etiquette, but that's what the family believes.
The Victorian opposition says confirmation the Melbourne Airport Rail Link project's under review is evidence of more confusion and uncertainty from the Albanese and Andrews governments. The federal government's confirmed Rail Link project is now under review. That's 2 weeks after insisting the project would not be. Deputy Victorian Liberal leader David Southwick says Melbourne desperately needs the airport rail link.
What's the hold-up? Everyone else has got one. Why is Victoria again missing out? An airport rail is the key to Melbourne's livability. We've just got to get on and do it, and more uncertainty just gives more problems in terms of getting Victoria back to where it needs to be.
A woman whose skull was fractured in an unprovoked assault on a tram wants CCTV to be made mandatory across the entire public transport network. 45-year-old Caitlin Morrison was aboard a Route 57 tram when she was assaulted by an unknown woman at Maribyrnong. She says it was incredibly disappointing to learn the tram did not have cameras. The attacker jumped off the tram, fled on foot, and has not been arrested. Tradies hoping to snap up a new ute before generous tax breaks end are being told not to be picky and to move quickly. Demand for models such as the Ford Ranger and the Toyota Hilux already exceeds supply. Many customers waiting months to get their new wheels. Ross Booth, who is the general manager of vehicle evaluation service Redbook, says prices could go up, particularly for second-hand models.
Any change to a demand situation tends to impact price. Now, most tradies will be looking for a new ute. So new prices tend not to fluctuate, but people will be looking for any vehicle which may be new or may be used. So yeah, there may be a slight change in pricing.
The High Court in London's been told numerous stories relating to Prince Harry as part of his phone hacking case against a tabloid newspaper came from other royals and in some instances from Harry himself. The Duke of Sussex is suing the Daily Mirror, but the publishers told the judge the stories came from his relatives and in one case an on-the-record interview that Harry had forgotten about.
Sport for Horsham Bearings, Darlot Street, the district's largest range of industrial supplies.
Jimmy Bartell wants the AFL to remember there is the potential to cause injury at every contest as it punishes head-high contact. AFL grades concerned emotions getting the better of the league and it's suspending its way out of its problems. It comes after Demons forward Jacob Van Rooyen received a 2-game ban for collecting his opponent. Melbourne will face the appeals board tonight. The tribunal had upheld Van Rooyen's striking charge. AFL great Matthew Richardson thinks clubs are genuinely spooked by Collingwood, especially late in the game.
I just feel like they know Collingwood is coming and they just play the whole game the same way. You look at other teams, they'll start going fast when the game's over and they're trying to come back. But Collingwood do that right from the start. It's great to watch at the moment.
Magpies have won 9 of their past 12 matches when trailing at three-quarter time. 9:05, that's the latest news in sport.
This commercial is not for you.
This job is not for you unless you're a people person, unless you're driven to achieve goals, unless you want to be part of a winning team. This job is not for you. See page 13 of the Weekly Advertiser.
The Blue Ribbon Raceway fires up Saturday for the Wingless Sprint Classic, plus the Kev Baker Limited Sportsman Challenge, vintage classes and the V8 trucks. Gates open 3:30, racing starts 4:30. All the info via blueribbonraceway.com.au.
Mix FM local news for Ararat News Agency. Printers, ink, toner, mobile repairs and a huge range of premium chocolates in Barclay Street.
Good morning, it's Emma Clarke with your local news headlines. There's still time to sign up online for Sunday's Horsham Mother's Day Classic with some great prizes on offer for those who do so. Close-offs at midnight tomorrow night, and organiser Jackie Exel is urging locals to come along for what will be a jam-packed morning, raising funds for breast cancer research, with sign-ups also offered on the day. And the Northern Grampian Shire Council and Stawell's Vanuatu community are holding a concert on the 20th of May. Held at the Stawell Town Hall from 7 through till 10, the group's holding the concert to fund local projects in the community, but also for those impacted by floods recently in Vanuatu. There'll be several performers with the Vanuatu Choir, City Heart Band, the Samoan Dance Group of Ararat and many more. Checking your forecast, mostly sunny this afternoon with light winds across the day. Partly cloudy tomorrow, light winds and 18. Saturday, partly cloudy, light winds and 19. And Sunday, sunny, light winds at a top of 20. 18 for Horsham today, Stawell 16, Ararat 15.
The Quarter Pounder, a classic for a reason. Available after 10:30 a.m.
It's currently 6 degrees.